Okay, hello everyone. Welcome to the third meeting of our introduction to linguistics. Yeah, last week we had an assignment related with language tree. Yeah, for uh, family of the word. Yeah, one of them is about English. Yeah, please find out the relation. Yeah, with the three languages started from the Indo-European till language itself, which is English. Yeah. Now we'll have a review a bit about it. So as we can see here, yeah, we have Indo-European as the Proto-Indo-European, and then it's split out into several languages. Yeah, that split out through Asia. Yeah, we have Indo-Iranian, yeah, and uh, more languages there. And then in European itself, we have the Germanic, yeah, the Romance, then the Slavic, and extra. What we can say about it, yeah, English is part of the Germanic language. Yeah, it comes from the several branches here, but as we can say that English is one of the West Germanic branch. Then we have here the Anglo-Frisian, and we have English here. Whether the Germanic itself have north than west, yeah. Then if we take it broader, the Indo-European, yeah, instead of the Germanic, they have the Celtic, Italic, Anatolian, Indonesia, ya, Indo-Iranian, Tokharian, and extra. Ya. You can learn more later on through one of them, David Crystal, Encyclopedia of Languages. Yeah. So happy reading. Yeah. This is the clearer picture of the language branches. Next, yeah, we'll have current topics for this week. Yeah. Entitled Design Feature of Human Language. Yeah, this is one of the introduction, yeah, before we learn about English itself. Then in the next 2 weeks, we have micro and macro linguistics. Yeah. First, I want to introduce you about Hackett, yeah, Charles Frances Hackett, yeah. Who is he? Yeah, yeah. We will talk about the commonalities between human and languages. Yeah, Hackett, famous with his design feature. Now we have 16. So sorry, it has been revised. Yeah, originally he has 13 design feature, but it's developed till 16 design feature of human language. Yeah, it doesn't just talk about human language with animal communication system, the difference between them, but it also emphasizes about the commonalities between human languages. Yeah, if you know Chomsky, yeah, Hackett and Chomsky had several debates related with the social cognitive learning, yeah, about language. That's why one of them we will see from the Hackett point of view that emphasize about design feature of human languages. Yeah, what are they? Yeah, one of them. Yeah, remember we have 13 basic. Then it is currently developing into 16. Yeah, design feature of human languages. First is about vocal auditory channel. What is cross in your mind when you heard vocal auditory channel? Yeah, from the name itself, this is about sounds emitted from the mouth and perceived by the auditory system. Yeah, this is about vocal auditory. This is the characteristic of human language. Yeah, if you know later on in microlinguistics about phonetic and phonology, yeah, we'll learn more about it there. Then the second one is about broadcast transmission and directional reception. Human language signals is sent out in all direction, yeah, like the speaker send out into several direction, while it's perceived in a limited direction by the hearer, of course. Yeah, then the third is about rapid fading. Yeah, what is rapid fading? Yeah, we can guess it from the name. If we use the language, yeah, the human language, yeah, it has this characteristic. Signal lasts a short time. This is true for all systems involving sound. So, of course, the sound uh, doesn't emerge forever or in a long duration. Yeah, it's about rapid fading. Then the fourth is about the interchangeability. What is it? Yeah. Here, all utterances that are understood can be produced. Yeah, we can see from the theory of language learning or language acquisition. Yeah, if human understood about thing sounds, yeah, of course it automatically he or she can produce it again. Yeah, if we know about learning period or language acquisition, yeah, by baby, uh, infant, yeah, toddler, children, yeah, teenager till adult, yeah, we have known that the what they perceived, if understood first, then they can recopy it, they can produce it. Yeah, again, this is the characteristic of human language. Yeah, the interchangeability. Then the fifth from Hockett is about the total feedback. Yeah, the picture is like a mirror, but it's just an analogy about total feedback. The sender of a message also perceive the message. Ya, that is you hear what you say. Karena kita punya ini ya indera pendengaran. Tentu kita bicara, kita juga mendengarkan itu kembali. So, uh, oh, while speaking, we also hearing. We we are also hearing what we said. That's why this is the total feedback, the characteristic of human language. Then specialization. Yeah, it's about language in general, yeah, that the signals produced is specialized for communication and it is not the side effect of some other behavior. This is the aim, yeah, the signal produced by us. The sound, this is spatial. This is for our communication, not about uh, it's about disease or it's about malfunction of our organ of speech. No, this is specialization characteristic of human languages. Then we have this one. The keyword is the meaning of meaning, yeah, because we want to discuss about semanticity. Yeah, the seventh is semanticity, the meaning of meaning, because it's related to semantic, yeah. But can we talk more about semanticity? What is the meaning of meaning? Yeah, there is a fixed relationship between a signal and a meaning. Can you get it? Yeah, I will explain in another way. We have warm, yeah, in our meaning. Besok kalau belajar semantik kita ada segitiga maknanya Ogden and Richard, but now currently we have this one, not the triangle of meaning first. Form. In the form we create the referent, yeah, or we can say that by a referent we can have a form, whether this is by word or in a written form, ya, letter or by spoken, ya, sound, ya, we have form. But how can we get that form? Bagaimana toh form itu terbentuk? That symbol. Misalnya kalau kita punya the name of cat. Kenapa kok itu dinamakan cat, kucing? Di Indonesia kucing, in English cat. Why? That thing, that reference, yang binatang berbulu berkaki 4, ya, itu kenapa? That specific things about cat. Dinamai cat, ya, sangat sulit sekali ya dijelaskan di sini, tapi itu penamaan makna. Kenapa? Ya, this is not about a formula or something like that. This is about social convention. Because this is completely random. This is by social convention. For example, let's talk about the name of stone, batu. Kenapa di Indonesia itu disebut batu? Padahal di English stone. Yeah, this is by social convention. Currently, we have a meaning of a thing, and it can be spread out through all the world. It's because of technology, because of the mobile phone, for example. But a long time ago, for example, in prehistoric, we cannot say that this is stone then spread out through the whole world. No, in different places it has a different name. Nah, itulah, it's by social convention, by specific people, by specific place. This is completely random. Ya, kenapa misalnya ini pisang di sini, di sana banana, di sana namanya gedang, ya, in other languages. That's why the meaning of semanticity. Yeah. Then the next is about appreciativeness. What is it? There is an arbitrary relationship. Jadi ada hubungannya, ya, arbitrary, between a signal and its meaning. That is, the signal is related to the meaning by convention or by instincts, but has no inherent relationship with the meaning. Ini salah satu kaitannya juga dengan semanticity, ya. For example, onomatopoeia, ya, versus arbitrarious, kita bisa pelajari itu. Jadi sifatnya itu arbiter. Kita menamai sesuatu makna dengan sinyal atau simbol dengan maknanya itu arbiter hubungannya. Contohnya ini kenapa kita mencari tahu onomatopoeia. Do you know onomatopoeia? Onomatopoeia is kind of we can say vocabulary or name or something based on a sound, and it has a different symbol, ya, form in different languages. For example, we have roaster here. In every morning, yeah, we can hear, for example, a cook-doodle-doo. Yeah, if it is in English, yeah, it's the conventionalized expression to suggest the crowing of a rooster. Yeah, the sound is cook-doodle-doo. Yeah, as stories in children. But in French, it said cocorico. Yeah, different ear, different name. Yeah, this is onomatopoeia. Different people, different countries, they have different social convention. Like in Spanish, yeah, in Spain, in Spanish, kikiriki. In Indonesian people, yeah, Indonesia, they said kukuruyut. Yeah, this is onomatopoeia in different languages. Yeah, it shows that language has arbitrariness. Nah, itulah contohnya. The name language can be said to be built up from discrete unit. Yeah, for example, phoneme in human language. Changing such discrete unit causes a change in the meaning of signals. Nah, apa itu maksudnya? Ini adalah discreteness. Jadi, this is an abrupt change rather than a continuous change of meaning. Jadi, makna itu bisa berubah tetapi tidak direncanakan, ya. Ini ya seperti tadi. For example, ya, abrupt itu unexpectedly sudden as an upper ending curve steadily inclined. Nah, misalnya itu contoh definisinya, ya. Kalau dalam animasi kartun di sini ada cerita ya. No, it's time for the 5 o'clock news. Sorry, there is no news. Good night. Nah, itu abrupt changing, suddenly. Nah, makna itu juga seperti itu dalam bahasa ya. Rather than a continuous change of meaning. The change, perubahannya itu. Kemudian displacement. Nah, dari namanya sendiri kita sudah bisa menebak. What is it? Can we guess it? Displacement is about time and place. Communicating about things or events that are distant in time or space. Inilah maknanya dari displacement. So as human, we can talk something outside of the current context of time, current context of space. Misalnya, we talk about something that can be seen. Bisa kan kita, we can talk about ghosts, but we cannot see it. Whether you believe or not, but we are discussing about the communication of, for example, among people about ghosts. Yeah, the topic is about ghosts. They can communicate about the topic, whether they cannot see it. Yeah, then we can talk about the Milky Way, for example, whether it exists, but we cannot reach it beyond of our visibility, for example, out of our league, bukan ke wanita, but about the league in context of di luar jangkauan kita, ya, itu. Or our ex, for example. Intinya, for example, about the past experience. Yeah, we can talk about something that's already happened. Now, animal can do this. Bisa Pak dia berkomunikasi? No, sebenarnya that's about the animal communication system, but this is not language. They can say like this, make kind of sounds like this because of hungry or angry, or something like that, or feel comfort. Just that, it is limited. For example, if we have sheep or cow in the Eid al Adha, yeah, or the feast of sacrifice, yeah, the feast of sacrifice, the goat or the sheep or the cow cannot talk that, oh, we'll get butchered tomorrow because it's the Eid al-Adha. No, they cannot see it. They cannot communicate it. Yeah. Or they even cannot talk the past. Oh, last week or yesterday, I just went to a meadow, green grass. That itu nggak bisa cerita seperti itu. But human can do this, right? Yeah. Okay. The next, the 11th, is productivity. Yeah. The background is about das. It symbolizes something. Yeah. Language is an open system. We can produce potentially an infinite number of different messages by combining the elements differently. Yeah, we have A till Z, we have 1 till 10 for the number, yeah, the basic one. But we can produce unlimited meaning from those words combination. This is the human language capability. This is productivity. Yeah. For example, the mathematician. Yeah. Long time ago, I just forgot the name. Just found a word, or found. Firstly, it is not a word. Yeah. Just found the way to call 100. About numbers, ya, a very big numbers, ya, saya lupa berapa, pokoknya disebut Google, ya, dengan kata-kata seperti ini. Itu berkembang time by time, ya. There is kind of a website that adapt that concept, ya, saking banyaknya. Later on you can check it, itu seberapa banyak nolnya ya, 100 kali nolnya ya, kayaknya. Nanti you can check it again ya. So sorry for having kind of lack of information, but the point of the language is about the word Google change into Google. Maknanya sudah beda, tapi mengadopsi dari ini. Noun. Jadi kalau dulu menyebutkan websitenya itu Google, search engine, the very famous one currently ya. Then it developed into the verb. The part of speech is changing, not changing, but we can have another one ya. Instead of just noun, we can also use it as a verb. Please Google this word. Nah itu kan sudah verb. Itu sekarang ada. Nah itu menunjukkan bahwa bahasa itu berkembang dengan pesatnya ya. For example about Shakespeare ya, kita suka dengan karya-karyanya. Tapi ini punya cerita ya, it has a story that ini beberapa saja, beberapa kecil bagian dari Shakespeare ya. Some words invented by Shakespeare. Dulunya nggak ada, jadi ada setelah adanya karya-karya Shakespeare. For example, bandit in the novel of Henry VI Part 2 in 1564 dan lain-lain seperti kritik, downless ya, dwindle. Dwindle itu seperti become smaller in size. Dulu nggak ada itu dwindle sebelum in 1568. Elbow, ya, green-eyed to describe jealousy ya. Lackluster itu without energy or effort, itu dulu nggak ada istilah khusus sebelumnya ya. Lonely, ya, sekarang kita familiar dengan ini. Because the reader at that time agreed, accept it unconsciously about those words and use it daily. Nah, itu menjadikan bahasa dari Shakespeare berkembang dan diterima based on social convention. Nah, itulah karakteristik dari salah satu productivity ya. Okay. Then the other point of Hockett's is about cultural transmission. Yeah, from the name, cultural. From the definition, each generation needs to learn the system of communication from the preceding generation. So it passed by generation. We learn from our parents, or in other way, we learn from the previous generation. Yeah, this is the cultural transmission. Human learn that way, right? That we can get gene variants underlie individual language skill. Now that's why it has a unique natural ability to develop highly complex linguistic system. An ability that lies in our genes, but is also shaped by our different environment. We learn from different generation, from previous generation, from our parents, yeah, but it is not limited by just the origin or the race or the tribes of our parents. Kalau saya Jawa, ayah saya, bapak saya, ibu saya Jawa, saya bisa bahasa Jawa, ya, mostly. But if I live in different environment, I'm the Japanese, but I live in United States since baby, it will be different context, right? Yeah, this is cultural transmission. Contoh ini, ya, the cultural transmission will be given in different context. Jadi tidak semata-mata ya the Indonesian people, the Indonesian genes tadi genetiknya memang orang Indonesia, tapi tidak hanya bisa bahasa Indonesia, tetapi manusia ya, sebagai manusia kita belajar dari previous generation yang berbeda, we can speak, we can communicate with the different languages. Contohnya misalnya kalau umumnya tadi orang Australia itu ya hanya bisa bahasa Australia. The mother tongue of the Australian is Australian. Australian people using Australian languages. Yeah, that's the common one. But in a different context, we can say in a different way in the cultural transmission ya. Ini supaya kita tidak memiliki pandangan sempit tentang cultural transmission ya. Yang Australian is also correct, but in different context we need to see the different sample. The Australian can also get the first mother tongue. Mother tongue is the first, the mother tongue of Japanese language. Ya, seperti kalau teman-teman lihat the famous YouTuber ya, Londo Kampung. If you see the videos of Londo Kampung, he can speak bahasa, not by learning, but it's about acquiring the Japanese language. Nah, karena ini contohnya adalah cultural transmission, learned by the previous generation, but based on the certain place. Because the environment is in Surabaya, in Java. So he can speak Japanese language since childhood. The other one, we will talk about duality patterning. What is it? Sama ini, dari semit, nah, gambarnya itu dari semit, dari veggie, sama bahannya. Tapi polanya sama enggak? Ya beda. Persentasenya juga beda. This is about duality of patterning. The analogy can be used in language. What does it mean? Large number of meaningful signals, for example, morpheme word produced from a small number of meaningless unit, for example, phonemes. Nah, maksudnya itu, there are two layers in this duality patterning. The first layer is about meaningful, the other layer is about meaningless. Meaningless, without meaning. Itu we as human produce the meaningless things. For example, sounds. Kalau di situ phoneme ya, sudah level of phoneme. G, A, I, etc. Tapi di sini, in this layer, we can use it to produce meaningful signals. The meaningful layers. We can use it as a word, phrase, sentence, or sentences that can have abundant meaning. The unlimited one. Nah, itulah maksudnya duality patterning. Kita itu memproduksi makna-makna yang jumlahnya tidak terbatas ini dari layer, dari bagian bahasa yang tidak bermakna. Karena belum dikaitkan satu sama lain, belum diproduksi, dibentuk kata, dibentuk frase, dibentuk kalimat. Nah, jadi human can do such kind of things. Oke. Next, ini pengembangannya dari Hockett. Not just about 13, but 5 till 16. The 14 is about prevarication. Apa ini? The prevarication. Why the picture is about Pinocchio? Because it's about linguistic messages. Can be false, deceptive, or meaningless. Ini karakteristik dari bahasa manusia the human language. For example, human can tell a lie, right? That's different from the reality. Or in another sample, we have figurative language. Itu misalnya segregating something, misalnya, wow, that's a big achievement, bro, misalnya. Tapi ternyata a big achievement, padahal itu hal yang kecil, misalnya hanya dia bisa menaikkan skornya dari 7,1 jadi 7,2, tetapi bahasa human language can have desegregation. Atau mau disuntik someone will get injection and then he or she get feared about it, then the doctor said, it doesn't hurt a bit. Masa sih? Padahal sakit, tapi bilang, ini nggak sakit kok. Atau ini nanti kalau bahasa Indonesia cuma seperti digigit semut, padahal nggak seperti itu. That's about prevarication. Prevarication in Hockett. Next, 15, reflexiveness. Ya, reflexiveness. In a language, one can communicate about communication. Apa maksudnya ini ya? What do you get from this definition? Ya, like our class. Kelas kita ini bicara apa? We talk about language. Ya. Jadi dalam berbahasa kita bisa bicara tentang bahasa itu sendiri, ilmu bahasa itu sendiri. That's why this is reflexiveness. Atau dalam contoh in the literalnya ya seperti ini, this is sentence, ada kalimat itu. Padahal ya ini sentence, this is sentence. Atau ada suatu kalimat namanya this it has five it is five sorry it has five sentences atau four sentences. Nah itu tadi kita bicara baik yang literal maupun macam-macamnya, something abstract that we create into a discussion, into a communication. Ya. We talk about subject, verb, noun dan sebagainya kan, part of speech atau macam-macamnya itu. We talk about something abstract, but we can do it. We can have a discussion because we use languages. Gitu. Kata benda itu kan sesuatu yang abstrak. Apa itu? Ya kan? Tetapi dalam penggunaan bahasa ini bisa didiskusikan. Itulah kelebihan manusia. Ya, dalam konteks ini adalah the human language. Ya, we need to thanks to God ya about this gift. Okay, the last based on the vocab ya, learnability. Ya. Learnability. A speaker of a language can learn another language. Ya, itulah prinsip terakhir dari vocab yang the human languages. Remember, we need to differ between learnability with the cultural reference tadi. Yang kita belajar dari previous generation. Ya, that we learn from our parents, we learn from our environment. Itu maksudnya learn di sana itu adalah acquiring language. Ya, seperti Londo Kampung tadi ya, itu acquiring karena sejak kecil tinggal di Surabaya, lalu bisa bahasa ibunya Surabaya. Tapi kalau learnability adalah kemampuan kita belajar bahasa yang lain. Jadi mengembangkan diri. Misalnya kita, kalau do you know about Jeremy Pauline? Not Jeremy, Jerome Pauline. Yeah, Jerome Pauline is the famous YouTuber too, right? With his Nihongo Matapu itu dia mother tongue-nya Indonesia ya, mother tongue, bukan seperti Londo Kampung tadi mengedepankan mother tongue-nya. Kalau Londo Kampung ya, kalau ini mengedepankan dia belajar bahasa Jepang, jadi Japanese ya, language he learn, jadi bukan mother tongue-nya Jerome Pauline ya. Tuh. Disinilah kemampuan manusia ya yang disebut learnability ya, kemampuan the communication about language. Okay, that's all the 16 vocabs ya, theory about human language that can differ with animal, and most of them it's not about the differences between human language and animal language, but it's also about how is the uniqueness of the human language. This is the summary. I hope you enjoyed it. You can rewatch the video. You can elaborate it through other references. Then we'll meet again next week into different topics. It's about history of English. Jadi besok lebih spesifik, tapi masih belum masuk ke mikrolinguistik ya. We will learn about English language through history. And it's like linguistic studies comparative, but not about the strict comparative, membandingkan yang terlalu strict, tidak. We just learn about history next week. Thank you very much. See you again. Bye.